You guys, welcome back. Some things have been keeping me up at night. The fact that I did not include Scream 6 in my best of the last, I'm just kidding. Fucking Scream movies. Fucking Blumhouse movies. This Night Swim shit. The Wolfman, right? There's a lot of things that did not make the cut. But the number one worst movie I have watched in the last 5 years, hands down, is this film called Nefarious, which is just a political hit piece. I cannot stand any of this fucking movie. That dude playing the demon right there from fucking Boondock Saints does an amazing job. That movie fucking sucks. You got an Emily out there at work that's like, hey man, what's the best horror movie I can watch? Duh, you're gonna want to watch Nefarious. Fuck that movie. Fuck those directors. Fuck that bullshit. Now let's talk about the best movies that I forgot to put on there. Mad God, Phil Tippett. This right here is a film that everybody needs to see. This is a Shudder original. It's stop motion done correctly. This is like a Bad Tool video, a DMT acid trip. Opening up your third eye, man. This is one hell of a great film. I fucking loved everything about it. It freaked me out, and I'm a huge fan. Now, a Netflix original that came out, I want to say 2020, when everyone was stuck at home, was this film about this woman who goes on this trip, and she kind of like reunites with her family, and she wants to go and kind of like, I don't want to ruin everything, but The Old Ways is a film that really did possession, supernatural, body horror, right? Kind of coming to terms with how things have been set up for you. This right here is a damn good horror film. I don't know if it's still streaming on Netflix, but it's got moments that are going to remind you of The Exorcist, Emily Rose. It's got a lot of great things going for it. The Old Ways, I thought, was one of the best horror films, and how dare I put Incantation on the list and not The Old Ways. Another horror movie that treated me just right from 2021 was this film called My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To. Now, there was a period where I watched this film like 3 times in 6 months because I was so impressed with it. I love really slow burns. I love family dramas. I love supernatural. I love vampires. I love all of these kind of things that just kind of went into this melting pot with this film, and I just had the best time with it. I love these characters. I love the dynamics. I love the gore. I love the like, hey, we got to keep this kid alive. This was a nice little kind of unassuming Shudder original that just got dumped onto the platform that I just was like, that's kind of got like a very unique poster. I'm going to give this thing a shot, kind of see what happens. And I was just, I don't know, if you're a fan of things like Let the Right One In, I mean, it's not necessarily like a 30 Days of Night, but this is a great, beautiful film. It's dark, it's gritty, it's hard to watch. It doesn't have a lot of disturbing content, but I just felt like it just hit me right, man, and I feel really bad for not including it on the last one. So My Heart Can't Beat Unless I Tell It To. Check this thing out. I was a huge fan of this movie. The plot synopsis for the film Caveat is pretty simple. It just says a desperate drifter suffering from partial memory loss agrees to look after his landlord's psychologically troubled niece in an isolated island mansion. Now, what happens in Caveat is a lot more than what I just said right there. This is, I want to say, the feature film from Damian McCarthy, who made big waves last year with Oddity. I was a massive fan of Oddity, but I was looking forward to Oddity really because of Caveat. This film has some of the most depressing mood, some of the craziest visuals. This film is just kind of like an Irish haunted house story, just what's changed in the what's down, like it just continues to impress me the more times that I watch it. This film was just a fucking breath of fresh air, man, as well as Oddity. And this film has got some scenes in it, man. When you Google Caveat, one of the first thing that comes up is Caveat face, because there is scenes in this film that really like, you know, have this shock value. They go to like get under the person's skin. Why are we trapped here? We're stuck. What in the hell is going on? I thought this film did tension and dread just fucking up to 11, man. And I was just a huge fan of Caveat. Can't really wait to see what this dude does next. And you can't have a list of the best movies of the last 5 years without putting Ti West anywhere on that list. And so this is going to be a little 3-piece for you. Breast, leg, thigh, wing, however you like your chicken. Chunky, crispy, tender, whatever, however you want it. You're going to get Mia Goth here in a little 3-piece, okay? I was so excited for when X was coming out. I was reading reviews and teasers. I could not wait to see this film. And it had so much buzz. I just was over the fucking moon waiting for this. And when I watched this film, man, I want to say this was 2020. So there wasn't a huge theatrical run, obviously, but I remember paying full price when it came out and that was even available to rent. And I'm not going to say I was blown away because we've all kind of seen this movie before. Okay, it's kind of like the adult film industry meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a lot of like kind of weird, pervy, gross things included in this. I thought the soundtrack was pretty banger. I thought the way that it looked super, super hot and everyone was just sweaty and gross, and it just kind of like really took advantage of the elements. I thought X was outstanding. You know, I won't know if I would say it was the best horror film of that year, but I was such a big fan of The Innkeepers and fucking The Sacrament. What was the other one that he did that everybody loves? House of the Devil. I was a big Ty West fan, so I could not wait to get my hands on X, and I really had a great time with it. Now, what I didn't know was that the film Pearl was going to completely smash those expectations and be like another, I guess, just a sequel to an A24 movie called Pearl with Mia Goth, telling the main antagonist from the first stories, you know, her kind of origin, her backstory, if you will. And I thought that for my money, Pearl was going to be as good as it got with this franchise here. And Pearl has a very, very different tone. Okay, we go back down to the swamps. We go back down to where it's hot and we learn about her upbringing. Pearl is one hell of a good horror film. It almost feels like a mixture of The Wizard of Oz with, I don't know, man, Gone with the Wind. It's got like fucking massive swamps, massive alligators. It's got crazy cool colors, crazy music. Pearl is this like Americana slice of life that I could not get enough of when I watched this film. I was just deeply disturbed by some of the things that were in it, like the bathtub scenes, the scenes with the dad. I thought that this was just one hell of a crazy follow-up to X, and I was like, I don't know, man, it looks cool, but I guess I wasn't buying the hype. I should have. It's fucking Ty West. But this scene with this fucking alligator, man, I was so fucking happy to watch this movie. I can't tell you, like, I was just blown away. I'm like, this is what movies are supposed to make you feel like. Movies are supposed to like take you on a ride. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. You're supposed to like smile. I fucking loved Pearl. I loved everything about it. There's crazy gore, crazy creature violence, the crazy storms in the house, the mom and like the German upbringing. It was just like, yeah, no wonder she was so fucked up in X-Men. I thought Pearl was just damn good the whole way through. Very uncomfortable. Loved Pearl. I love that steelbook that I got. No, it's a media book. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I do know that Pearl is so good, and I love this film. Didn't think it'd get better, and then I watched Maxine, and Maxine just completely blew me away again. Call me simple, call me basic, call me whatever you want. I didn't really think that A24, A24, whatever the fuck you want to say, I know that they make some really interesting horror movies. They don't always work because they are very artsy fartsy. They're very kind of like on the nose, trying to like be funny and coy with some of their horror. But to have a triple feature like consecutive trilogy from A24, I just thought it was super. I don't know why I'm saying A24. I always say A24. Fucking forgive me, dude. I was so happy. This was a really, really good theater experience. From the music to the way that it was filmed to the slasher element to the way that they just captured 1985, the seedy LA look, man. I'm such a fan of the Night Stalker and all of that serial killer, satanic panic, the hyper vigilante justice, the violence. Everything was just sexualized and compartmentalized, and everyone had to just kind of deal with it. There was crazy drugs. There was crazy the adult film industry. It was just, man, we get to see what she came from in X, and then we got to see the previous story in Pearl, and then we got to see Maxine, where it's just, I mean, this is kind of like if Monster had a better ending. Maxine brought all the violence, all the fucking gore, all the fucking the sticky leather, the way that the sounds are, the way that it's shot. Like, this was just a high and tight fucking amazing trip in the theater. I was just beaming, man. I was humming the song, fucking Betty Davis eyes all the way home. I was just in a great fucking mood, and it's rare that movies can kind of do that to you, and this is just what it was in on the joke, man. And I thought Maxine XXX was so fucking good. Now let's talk about a film that came out that was also totally unassuming, that just blew me away. This was a Hulu original that has barely any dialogue in it. Barely any dialogue, and it doesn't need anything. This film right here stands on its own. This is from 2023. This is a PG-13 sci-fi horror home invasion film done right. We are talking about not that kind of home invasion. We're talking about from, the third kind. We're talking about the aliens here. We are talking about Bryn, who's going to find solace in the walls of the home where she grows up. Unfortunately, she's awakened one night by these strange, unearthly noises. Now, if you're a fan of sci-fi and alien films, especially alien invasion films, this is a film that needs to be on your list. No One Will Save You completely blew my doors off, man. I had an amazing time. I can't even tell you how much tension there was in the house when she's running around and she sees them for the first time and they're just fucking with her. They are toying with her. This takes all the best kind of things about aliens and all the best things about sci-fi, and it kind of marries them together in a very realistic way. And I think for my money, man, for a Hulu original, this was one of the best films of 2023. I thought No One Will Save You completely fucking ripped. I love everything about this damn movie. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite films of 2025. This was The Sophomore, the follow-up effort from the Philippou brothers, who of course brought us Talk to Me just a couple of years ago. This was a film that while watching it in the theater, I was completely glued to the screen. I was completely just thrown off guard because I wasn't sure what to expect. I just knew that I wanted something different. I wanted to see if they had that same magic as they did with Talk to Me and see if they could just, give me something new, something to kind of think on. And this film right here, Bring Her Back, is one of the most devastating films I've seen all year. And I guess I just have a thing for films that are emotionally just violent and traumatic, films that have like any sort of occult, any sort of witchy paranormal rituals. I'm a huge fan, and I thought that this film brought crazy gore, crazy music, crazy sound design, and it was really schizophrenic, really isolated in this film, where you had to try to figure out what exactly were the rituals, what was going on. You knew something was fucking rotten in Denmark. You knew something was wrong with this kid and something was wrong with this lady, and she would do anything to bring back poor Kathy, who had drowned. Anytime there's a drowning man, that automatically gets an extra star in my book, because there's something about movies where somebody drowns and I immediately flock to the man. And I thought, Bring Her Back. I watched it in the theater and I thought about it for days. I was not in love with it, but I really liked it. Couldn't stop thinking about it. I can't recommend it enough. I actually think that movie fucking rocked. Now, a movie that I never want to watch again, but I probably will very soon, because I think about this just doing this list right here. This was a film, I want to say this is an Austrian film, I'm sorry, from the people that also brought us Goodnight Mommy, and then they did The Lodge as well. This film right here, The Devil's Bath, is emotionally tormented. It is emotionally damning. There is nothing, there's nothing paranormal kind of going on, but there is a lot of ritualistic horrors that took place back in whenever that, I want to say 16, 14, whenever this was. This is a film that is depressing. This is a film that is utterly bleak. It is completely violent. It is a film that just completely fucked with my head. And when it ended, I was like, God, that was a lot. While you're watching this poor woman who basically, she decides that she's going to be in this arranged marriage and she's going to go and meet this fella. Okay. And things do not go well. Either he's not interested in her and she can't seem to find any sort of way to bed this dude, and things go wrong. She wants a way out. She wants to get out of this life. She does everything she can. She sacrifices. She decides she's ultimately just going to give up and just, fucking put her head on a platter. Fucking hail. It was so just emotionally damaging to watch this film, and I could not stop thinking about it. I recommended it to a few people that like slow burns, that like to have their head fucked with, that really like bleak, dreaded, just horrific horror movies that don't have a lot of creature feet, like any of that cheesiness that I love in some other movies. Once in a while I need something real. Once in a while I need something with some weight, and this film has that in spades. fucking The Devil's Bath, man, just completely shattered my emotional core. For like 2 days I thought about it. But I also love The Lodge, so if you're a fan of The Lodge, check out The Devil's Bath. Last but definitely not least, you might see a pattern from the last video. The movies that I love the most, I put towards the end. This right here from 2022 was a horror drama, if you can call it that. An hour and 37 minutes of just uncomfortable violence and dread that I cannot recommend to people if they're parents, but I also can say, hey, this movie fucked with me. This movie bothered me. I've watched this thing 5 times since it came out. I cannot ever get it out of my brain. I think that this is one of the this is a very violent emotional film as well. Speak No Evil from 2022 is one of my favorite movies. I can say that now without a shadow of a doubt. I have come around on this film. I know in the beginning I was like, I can't stop thinking about this film. Maybe I hate it, maybe I love it. I think the reason why a lot of people hate it is because as parents, there's things that you would never ever do. This film is triggering. This film is damaging on a way at a cellular level for a lot of parents. They're like, there's over my dead body, would I never let this happen? Well, guess what? That's why it's a movie. It's supposed to make you think something different. It's supposed to fuck with your head. And Speak No Evil, man, this original version right here is as good as it gets. This is pure tension. This is just nastiness. I fucking love every frame of this film. It just fucking like slowly drags you out into the deep water and just fucking takes you down, man, like a fucking saltwater croc. You have no answers. You have nothing but remorse. You cannot get away from this emotionally violent movie. I fucking love Speak No Evil 2022. So fucking good. Fuck off that new fucking version, the American fucking version. This film barely even has fucking any Danish in it. You can pretty much just read the English. Guys, I love you very much. Take great care. See you soon. Cheers.